Hello, mother.
Be
Hello,
live.
father. Here I am at Camp Granada.
Are you live? So, would help if I turned up my volume, wouldn't it?
Do you like my avatar?
Yes, that's quite good.
Right, I shall go and sign in on YouTube. Dooby.
Right, good evening, folks. As you can see, Mastermind Dave and myself are here. There is mumblings there. He's signing in somewhere else. We're going to try something different tonight. We have had a test run this afternoon. It went all right, but will it go all right on the night? But first job in hand is to feed his nibs his treat. A puffed up chicken leg. I mean, how disgusting's that? Yeah, he'll go and find that. So, another busy week on the channel. I've had 2,612 views this, and that's purely on a lot of it is on programs, not the shorts, which is good. 14 new subscribers. What have you been watching? Well, at number 3 was last week's live stream with 139 views. Then we had the Battle of the Debuts of Russian. Yes, that was very popular, 166. But at the top of the table with 200 views, it's the Disappointed Albums by our favourite artists with Richard McCook.
Evening, Mick and Ralph.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I will put you. I've sort of got 2 screens at the moment. It's scary stuff for me. And in the last 28 days, a massive 11,984 views. We picked up another 132 subs in the month. Top 3, coming number 3, retro ranking. Dave Clark 5187. The Disappointing Albums with Richard was 200. And my little Let Me Introduce You competition still there at 232. So the big figures since we started, we're now up to 149,203 views. And we're now at 804 subscribers. So thank you very much for everybody that has subscribed and enjoying it. Usual people at number 3, Jethro Tull, 3,700 now. Derek Riggs, 3,880. Status Quo, 6,480 views on one. So we're going to try things. Normally, I usually say what's on next week, but we've got something a little bit different if it works. So we're going to just go and what's going to tell you who won last week's Battle of the Debuts, and it was a big win for Russian Moving Pictures, which I sort of predicted and Dave did. Well, I've been listening to the Work in Progress, James Bond, 25 of the 24. I just haven't had time to watch Spectre this week. Camelot, I've nearly done. Just got the new album to listen to. And I've done all 13. Lynyrd Skynyrd, 8 of the 11. 10, I'm up to 8. Snow Patrol, got 4 of the 7. Pogues, 4 of the 7. The Trogs, I've done 4 of the 9. Bankman, Turnout and Overdrive, 6 of the 10. The Beavis Frond, the new one, 1 of 20. Super Furry Animals, 1 of 20. Prodigy, 1 of 7. And IQ, QI, whatever they want to be called, 3 of 12. Now, we got a new feature. We know we usually do the people that have left us. This week, and from now on, Dave is going to talk you through who's left us this week and what they've done. So it's over to Mastermind Dave.
Hi, thank you kindly, Ian. Good evening, everybody. Hope you can all hear me. Notable deaths in music since last week, the 23rd of March. It took the BBC a week to record that this person had died. And I'm ashamed to say that Keith Reid, the lyricist for Procol Harum, he wrote the lyrics for every song released by Procol Harum that was not previously recorded by someone else, including A Whiter Shade of Pale. He also wrote You're the Voice for John Farnham. He died on the 23rd of March, and it took the BBC until today to note his passing. Meanwhile, Paul O'Grady got everything within minutes of his death being announced. Anyway, the 25th of March, Christopher Gunning. He was a composer and he wrote the music, the themes for a lot of TV and films. His credits include Poirot, Middlemarch, Porterhouse Blue, Rosemary Thyme, excuse me, and he collaborated with Colin Blunstone on Say You Don't Mind. He did the strings for that. And he collaborated with Lynsey De Paul on Won't Somebody Dance With Me and My Man and Me. Another person who died on the 25th was Andrew Lloyd Webber, son of Sir Andrew. He was a composer and record producer. On the 26th, we lost Ray Pillow, American country music singer. On the 27th, we also lost Peggy Scott-Adams. She was an American soul, blues, and R&B singer. She was also known as the Little Lady with the Big Voice. And the death was announced on the 27th of Howie Kane, an American pop singer who was a member of Jay and the Americans. So that's all who have left us in the last week. So Iain now has something to show you. I'm hoping this is going to work. You tell me whenever you're going to press the button, Iain, okay?
I've pressed it so you can do it.
Okay, here we go. And away you go.
Oh, it's there, is it? Well, as you see, normally I tell you what's on. But this week, and then from now on, I'm going to show you as well. So there we are. This is the first one. So what have we got for you Monday? This is what's coming up on Monday, folks. As you can see, we've got an album ranking and this reviewer request for the sensational Alex Harvey Band. And what a picture I found of them for the thumbnail. That just about sums up the band, really. Classic album next week is that little number there from the Pixies, Bossa Nova, which is a pretty good album. Tuesday, and that is by Magic. Got part 2 of the Gary Moore story, and that you can see that's his band's Skid Row. Nothing to do with the American, and Gary Moore is that bloke in the middle with the long hair and the caftan coat. Doesn't he look so different? Also, retro ranking next week is that gentleman there, a legend, of course, Mr. Stevie Wonder. Going to do his top 10 songs.
That's going to be hard.
Oh, I did all right. And I know a friend of mine on Rachel Ghost, Craig, is a big fan, so I'm sure he'll be watching that. So what's happening Wednesday? We got the governor, as Brian May calls him. He lost him sadly this year, so I'm going to be looking at Jeff Beck's studio albums. Not doing his collaborations just yet. That's for another week. But we're doing Jeff Beck's studio albums. A lot of good albums there. And that takes us swiftly on to Thursday. Back to the normal battle of the debuts. We've got 2 indie bands. One Elbow and their album Asleep in the Back. And Athlete, Vehicles and Animals. Next week is a Wander Down the Sidewalk. And we're going to do a new feature, how we pick the years when we come round again for the next cycle. But this one will be this April the 6th of 1987. So Friday, a busy day on the Friday, as you see. Live album ranking is the fantastic Transatlantic, the super group of Neil Morse, Peter Dravavas, Mick Portnoy and Ronnie Stolt. Got a couple of new album reviews next week as well. the new album from Depeche Mode, Memento Mori, and Saxon's More Inspirations. But that's not all next week, because on the Sunday it returns. A very special album. Yes, we had a lot of fun putting this together. As it's Easter Sunday next week, well, the week after, whenever it is, we've decided to do funny covers, good and bad. So there's 20 outrageous. We start with some nice ones, and then we go up to the yeah. Well, you know what me and Dave come up with. So that's next week, and I thought it'd be nice to do a little PowerPoint presentation for you. So that's all done there. So, with a few
off
flicks,
we go.
With a few flicks things.
Yeah, you flicked.
Screen. So, good evening, everyone. Again.
Good evening, Ron and Pulsar.
Yes. Good evening, Ron. Oh, great, Ron. I mean, I met Ron the other day on Rachel's Ghost, and thank you for coming in tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's do the other thing now. We can stop sharing. Just bear with me, folks. I'm still trying to get used to this thing. Right. Hey, voila. So, in goes a thing. So, if you want to come and join us and have a chat, you're more than welcome to.
The community vote at the moment is 9-0 to the UK.
So if you want to know what that one is, today we did Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, and Pounds of Love by Kate Bush. So if you do come in and want to join in, that will be the first question I ask you. Which album do you prefer? We might even start talking about this little box set tonight, which I forgot I'd got, and I was going through some stuff, and I found it. I thought, oh, I forgot I'd got that. We had to buy that every week. Yeah. And as Paul Sales put it, it was very sad to hear about Keith Reid. And sadly missed. People forget how much he did. And Ron, he loves Alex Harvey Band. Yeah, we love him. And we love the Pixies as well. So if anyone wants to join us, the link's there. Just click on that. But if you're watching on YouTube, please remember to turn your volume down or you get tremendous
squealy feedback.
Yes. What do people think of Dave's avatar thing? A darling and a puddy tat.
Yes, one of these creatures is hell bent on world domination. The other is a Dalek.
I'm an hour earlier. Oh, sorry, Pulsar. I've got no idea about time and space.
Yeah, no, our clocks changed last Sunday.
Yes. Howdy, David. Welcome to the Madhouse. Anyone want to join us? You know how to. If you don't know how to do it, there's a thing that's just gone up. This one here. You click on the link in the comments. You'll be able to come and join us and have a discussion about anything. Got some good. I wrote down a few things we could discuss tonight. Anyone that's really hacked you off in the music business this week, that you want to pull your hair out. And what was your worst concert? We've all been to some bad concerts. What's your worst concert you've ever been to, Dave? Not when you was with.
Well, from a rock and roll point of view, I went to a concert in Bletchley, Yehudi Menuhin. Totally not rock and roll, very highbrow. Went out on a date with a gorgeous girl. Both enjoyed the music, and then, right, time to go home. dropped her off. That was it. Didn't see her again after that. I don't think she was impressed.
Well, there you go. Don't take young ladies to Hugh Menwin concerts.
Well, actually, it was very good. I suppose one of the worst ones was up in Belfast. We ended up, the concert finished, and we'd missed the last bus by about 2 minutes. So I had to phone home, get my dad out of bed, and he drove all the way up to Belfast, picked us up, took us home. Not very politely, shall we say. There was a bit of excessive language. Got us home for about 2 o'clock in the morning. And Mum was sitting in the kitchen, sort of tapping her fingers on the table. You know, what are you doing coming in at this hour?
Yes, I mean, I know you, Mum, both Dave's mum and dad very well, and his mum. Yeah, I can just imagine her sitting there going,
Yeah.
"Yes, Mick, Bob Dylan in 1987. The drunk behind me sang much better than Bob." Yeah, Bob sounds like a Hoover sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think one of my worst concerts, a notable concert, was very disappointing. It was a support act, and I can't even remember the name of them. But all he did all night was swear all night. The mix was totally wrong. And when he came up to the microphone to talk, it was one of those.
Oh, God. Whoever was on the mixing desk should have been shot.
Yes, they were awful. Eric Clayton. Was that Clapton or Clayton? He was drunk and stoned, had no energy, played a very short shirt. Actually, a riot broke out in the stadium. Dear,
funny feeling that might have been Clapton.
Also, when I went to see Status Quo at Milton Keynes Bowl on the so-called End of the Road tour, the first band on were a band called Jason and the Scorchers. Now, it was Motorhead meets Dolly Parton. It was that. Now, I don't know what you guys in the States, but in this country, we were renowned. We can't do it now because of health and safety. If we didn't like anybody at a festival, you had stuff thrown at you in bottles.
Yes, and it's usually a bottle that you'd been standing holding down your trouser leg.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any clips on YouTube of bottle fights at festivals. And if you've never seen it, it's just that it's full of bottles going everywhere, and pizzas and food and bags of other stuff as well.
Yes, he was full of piss and vinegar. Yeah, and not necessarily vinegar.
Within 10 minutes, they got bottled off. Literally, I've never seen a band bottled off like that in my life. And Ralph's got one to share for us.
Ooh. Gordon Bennett. Elvis went to Norwich. I'm not surprised. He was backstage watching. Oh dear.
Pulsar's got. Why are they like Pulsar? Because when I saw them, they were awful. They were just absolutely awful. No one liked them. And I've not bothered to listen to any of their stuff ever since. It just totally put me off them. I mean, people have said to me they're pretty good. So what do you think?
David's right. Yes, there are some venues that have very poor sound.
I think this band I can't, the support band was at the NEC, and unless the NEC in Birmingham's full, this sound is terrible. And being a support band, everyone was off buying merchandise and everything, and it does lose the sound there.
I think one of the best sound nights we had was the night we went to see ELO 2.
Yes.
They got the sound right that night. It was really good.
Yes, that was in our local theatre, the Derngate. Weren't we in the Muppet boxes?
Yes.
Yes, we had a Muppet box, didn't we?
We had a Muppet box, but we weren't behind the pillar.
No.
There was a Muppet box to the right, and they were behind the pillar.
That's another little story. Before we went to I'm sure Dave will remember this. We went to our sort of local watering hole at the time called the Wig and Pen. There was Dave and myself and our late friend PK and his good lady. And a
certain other gentleman and lady.
Yeah. It's a shame that if PK was still alive, he'd have been up on here a bit with his tail.
Oh, God, yes.
Anyway, we was having a drink and this guy walked in. And three of us knew who he was. And we got chatting to him and it was really nice. And he says, we're going to the show tonight. Oh, brilliant. I will see you there. And we drank up. He went off. See you later. You know, that sort of thing.
Evening, Matt.
PK's wife said, do you know him? Who is he? I've never met him. And we had to explain that we'd been sitting there for what, 3/4 of an hour or so?
Yeah.
With Beth Bevan. He popped over. I mean, he weren't drinking. He had a cup of coffee and he was just having a general chit-chat with whoever wanted to chat with him. And it was really good.
Yeah, he was just having a break from doing sound checks and whatnot. He just out, bit of fresh air, cup of coffee, decent cup of coffee. And a chinwag. He was very nice, very pleasant.
Yeah, a really nice guy. And she didn't know who he was.
Yeah. Even better, we had Lovely Boy.
Oh, yes. Windsor Davis.
Yeah. Oh, he was an absolute gem. We sat with him for the best part of an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, he was fun.
He was. He was doing a play in the Royal, wasn't he?
Something like that, yeah. So I keep putting up the thing. So if anyone wants to come and join Dave and I for a chat about the world and some of your experiences, click on that link there, and you can come in and say hello. So, because me and Dave, we speak all the time, so.
Oh, yeah.
We're going all over the place now. Look at that.
Oh, the far reaches of Oregon.
Yes, excellent. Getting a few more.
We're creeping ever west.
Yes, but I think that's because I spend some time in.
You're on with Rachel.
Rachel, yes, and company.
All right, fair enough, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the one we do want to get on is Richard if he ever appears.
Yes, but Richard goes to work. He works nights, so I'm sure one day we'll get him.
Yeah, because I want to throw that challenge down to him after the disappointing stream, as I'll refer to it. The most disappointing albums, the selection that you did.
There we go. Pulsars in Arizona.
Oh. Hot and dry.
Hot and dry.
Yes, no, I definitely. I think that's going to be quite a challenge for the pair of you. You've got to get rid of your complete record collection. What are the 10 records, CDs, or whatever that you're going to keep? I think that's a challenge for anybody.
Yes. Oh.
Ooh. Oh, he was just up the road from us.
Yeah.
In fact, any time I went over towards Cambridge over to visit Mary in Ramsey 40 Foot, I was going past Slegan Heath.
I think I've been there for some Special Olympics when I was working in the that field.
Yes, they had the special.
We used to go to. We went to American Air Base because we had to go and get dollars.
Yeah.
And all I remember drinking far too much Budweiser. Okay, I got a guest coming in. We have got. He's down as Gaza. It's me, mate. Hello, Gaz. How you doing, mate? I can't hear you, mother. You're not on. I can't hear your voice, Gary. All you're doing is grinning like a Cheshire cat.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, mate. See if I can unmute you.
Try it now.
Now, this is my mate Gary. Now, me and Gary go back, a long time. Still can't hear you, Gaz. Now, while Gaz sorts his, Gaz used to be a DJ. He's got. Now. Let's see if this works now, he says.
Dum, diddy-dum.
Yeah, I first met Gary when I was 13, 14, something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, God.
And we've been friends ever since. He's a big Quo fan. This is the guy that asked for Shawaddy Waddy. He asked Pat Benatar. So now, I've talked about Gaz, who hasn't been well. He's looking good. Right. And except we can't hear him.
Yeah.
Well, you're done, Gaz. You broke it. This is poor old Gazzy. First time in and it's gone all wrong for him. Yeah, why don't go out, come back in, see if that helps. Hopefully Gaz will come back in with his microphone working.
Do you want to pull the PowerPoint?
Yeah, let's get rid of the PowerPoint, because we've done that. There we go. Let's go to the PowerPoint. So, anyone like the way we're doing that now? I'm going to try some. We're going to try something on other things now and again. Just pull things up. Now we're getting used to this wonderful system.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's unfair for those who are in the YouTube chat who can't join in. It'd be great to have everybody.
I can if they click on this. It doesn't matter if you.
Yeah, but not everybody will want to.
No, if you haven't got a camera, or you don't want to come on camera, do what Dave does. Just put your thing up. It's just another interaction. Hang on, Dave Bagnall's got a worse gig.
That's just 9 people are there. The piano tour today. Mr. Wakeman, 9 people on the piano. Wow.
Right, let's do another invite thing. Let's see if I think I can post a comment in here. Have you got that little box, Dave?
Which one?
See, I've just sent a message in. It's in the bottom of the comments.
Hello.
Yeah. See Dave's work. We're learning on the hop here.
No. I bet you that hadn't appeared.
So if anyone else wants to come and join in the fun, that's the thing. The more people we get, we can have up to 6 of you. So the more we get, the merrier it is. See there, it does work. There we go.
What if I do that? Welcome back, Dave's Vinyl Gigs. Oh, sorry, Vinyl Digs.
Yeah. Oh, you're back. If you want to join us, I've just sent the link, but I'll send it again, especially for you.
There we go. Bonk. 3, 2, 1.
Oh dear, Dave's disappeared.
Hey?
I thought you disappeared.
No, I temporarily flicked over to the YouTube because I can post a comment in YouTube, but not in StreamYard.
Oh, that's no good.
Don't know why.
How's the poll going?
Let's jump back and have a look. It was 9-0, if I remember correctly.
I don't know what the community. I know the community was.
The community is still 9-0. I need to switch to that. It'll confuse people if they see Ranking the Obscure coming up twice. 78% to Kate Bush, 9 votes.
Pretty cool. That's all I went for today. So who? What's your vote then, Dave? You usually.
Normally I stay out of it, but I thought, all right, purely on the volume of sales and the popularity, I went for Bruce.
See, Bruce has got a fan. I mean, I love Bruce Springsteen.
I remember whenever it came out, I was in Islamabad and working at the embassy there. And there was another guy, he worked in the visa section. And they used to have a disco on Friday night. And he had a whole pile of, he must have had something like 500 singles. And he used to spin the discs. He did a DJ set. It was really good, but it was all old stuff. He had nothing after, I would say, 75, 76. It was all sort of early pop. And then I arrived on the scene and I had a twin deck cassette player. And I could preset on each cassette where I wanted it to start. So I could queue up one song on deck A and queue up a second song on deck B and just bounce between the two. I arrived, I've got Smash Hits magazines, I've got most of the latest music, and I started joining in. And I did the later set. We split the set into 2, and he would do the early stuff, and then I would kick in. And for some reason, all the kids waited at the bar until he finished his set, and then they came in whenever I started mine. Because I had all the latest stuff that they knew. They didn't recognize all the old stuff, all the old ELO and Queen and Shabadi Wadi and all that stuff. I had the new stuff. And Born in the USA came out, and I put the cassette on and I just let it run. I played the whole thing, side A, side B. Thank you very much. I had an easy night that night. I didn't have to do anything. They loved it. But it was extremely popular. Everywhere you went, you could hear Born in the USA. Even going down into the local markets, somebody somewhere had Born in the USA playing.
That's pretty thing. It's all right. If you can hear these weird noises, my thing's just going to blip. There we go. Stephen went for Kate Bush. Well, I had to go for Kate Bush. She's my favourite female artist of all time.
It's 9-1 in the chat poll.
I have found something else that's quite fun on here. As well. Yes. See, I can do things like this. If it works.
That's the key phrase. If.
I don't think that's going to work. I must sort something out for another week because I've put some photos up. Well, I did put some photos up the other day.
Oh, it's not his lordship, is it?
I have got a wonderful clip of his lordship. You remember a friend of mine, Paul? He had that scooter. He was testing it out and met him over the part where he was working. And Rocky had got fed up of walking, so he got on Paul's scooter.
A lazy beggar.
Yeah, that's... Now, Rocky this week, because we've had a lot of rain, he hates going to the toilet in the rain. And we've got a bush. Right, we have got another guest waiting to come in all the way from Wyoming. I think
Wyoming. All right.
And it's Dave. Greetings, Dave.
Hey, greetings, Ian.
Welcome for first time.
I've been on some other live streams, so I know how this works now.
Yeah, it's all good technology. So the first question: Bruce Springsteen or Kate Bush?
That's a double. I know which album sold more, but which you want to know which artist I like more?
The bet album we have this on our chat on the channel called Battle of the Debuts. We've been doing bestsellers, and today it's Born in the USA against Hounds of Love, Kate Bush.
I would say I like Kate Bush a little bit better than Bruce.
I'm for the Kate Bush. She's my favourite artist. Yeah. Why is that? Why do you think Kate Bush? What makes you think Kate Bush?
It's hard to. Well, she's a little bit more new wavy and techno stuff.
Yeah,
Kate.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought Kate Bush was techno.
Well, she does some synthesizers.
Yeah, true enough.
Well,
true enough.
Yeah,
and yes, she does all her own stuff, produces all her own stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
I find the Bruce Springsteen, as much as I love that album, he was diving into that 80s production, which cringes me. Kate didn't. It was, I'll do what I want, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, tough. It's my record.
Well, that Bruce Springsteen was, I know that was a very top-selling album here in the States, too.
Yeah. Good evening, Rob. Are you coming up to play tonight?
I'd say.
Rob Walker. The legend of Rob Walker.
Yeah.
Evening, Rob.
Do you pronounce your name Ian, right?
It's Ian, yes, the Scottish way of
Oh,
but when I was on do you know Rachel's Ghost, yeah? I was on there.
I watched it
Yeah,
a lot.
we was talking about, and I said about, because someone said I spelled my name wrong, so I had to explain. She said, "Tell the kids, you know what Rachel's like. Tell the kids why you spell it like you do." And
I can see that.
and that's how it's the Scottish way of spelling it, because Ian is a Gaelic name.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, over here we can spell it Ian, Iaain, Eoin. Wales, you've got Euan.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's so many ways of spelling Ian. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because it's Iain Evans, the ex-rugby winger. And what's his name? The England. Is that the Irish version of Ian? How he?
Hang on, I've got to pop this up.
That's brilliant.
Oh, I love it.
Fail.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh.
Yeah. Well, Bracey Fields is from right. Okay, here we go.
Here he is, the legend in his own lifetime.
The one and only
Bye-bye.
Mr. Robert Walker. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, Rob.
Evening, Rob.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
We're
First
surviving.
thing, can I say thank you for the support over the Paddy Ricefield episode?
Yeah, it was quite an interesting couple of days. That.
Yes, it was. So I went on the day after you onto Rachel, and it was the big talk.
Oh yeah,
the Waxton was right. He did a little wheel for when I do the next contest, and he put on him and right Paddy round all the way round this about 40 times. So everyone he got a new name, Peppermint Rice Paddy, and all sorts.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right, Michael. I think he loses a little bit in translation, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think he could work for the diplomatic corps.
No, certainly not, could he?
Yeah.
No, as I explained in the thing, the intention was, and I'll tell you guys, I was going to do something on the Friday like I did on the Saturday, but I had something to fill in for the taxman, which had to take preference. So I did that, and by the time I'd finished that, you know how long they take it. And now we hopefully will have Gaz with my mate Gaz. How are your vocals this time, Gaz?
Still can't hear him.
Gaz has got problems with his vocals.
Let's do that and now do that and see.
Okay.
Has that changed anything?
Has that changed anything, Gary? No.
No.
I'm going to have to come round your house and sort you out.
Oh, that's a promise or a threat. Which?
Yeah, I'm just thinking if I can do anything on my end.
How you doing, Rob Walker?
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
I don't know what happened there, Gary. You've disappeared completely now.
Dave, do you know when you were saying about 10 records, if you could just have 10?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what I'd have as my 10. It's kind of a little bit like a desert island sort of disc thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I definitely have Quadrophenia.
Right.
That'd be one. The Jam sound effects would be another one. Drums and Wires by XTC.
Cool.
Colours of Spring by Talk Talk, Rattlesnakes, Lloyd Cole and the Commotions, Hatful of Hollow by the Smiths, Steve McQueen, Prefab Sprout, Stone Roses, the debut, Closer, Joy Division.
Joy Division.
How many is that? I'm not doing too bad then, am I?
No, you're doing all right. No, the 10 it was.
I haven't got a female artist, so I think I'd need a female artist. And I need a little bit of soul, so I'd have to give that some thought.
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like Fela Kuti. I like a bit of Fela Kuti.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Interesting set of choices. No, it was the idea that I had was after the stream that they did last Saturday of the most disappointing albums. I thought, all right, let's turn it on its head. You've both got big record collections.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're going to be evicted. You've got to live in a caravan. You can only take 10 records. What are you going to take?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those questions you have down the pub, isn't it, on a Friday night, on one of those boring nights that you.
It is. I had to sit and think quite a bit before I sort of I edged towards. I think I'm at 15. I still need to cut 5.
Yeah. Well, what have you got on your preliminary list then?
Music of the Spheres. Nightwish. I think I'd have to go with Diamond Dogs.
Music of the Spheres, is that Muse?
Oh no! Oh goodness me, no! Oh goodness me, no! That's Mike Oldfield.
All right, okay.
Mike Oldfield. That was his.
I'm not a big fan of him, really. He's okay.
Well, it's a brilliant album because it's written in a classical style.
Right.
It was premiered in Barcelona.
What year is that from?
Oh crikey! When did it come out?
One of the late
2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Right, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have heard of that, even though Ian did a video, didn't you, with Richard and another guy?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the 2-disc version, and the bonus disc is live at the Guggenheim.
Right.
90 minutes of Oldfield at his best, but he got an absolute gem of a singer, Hayley Westenra. Her voice is to die for.
I've heard of her, Hayley.
Yeah, she has a gorgeous voice, absolutely stunning.
Ian,
On My Heart she sings, and it's beautiful.
Ian, who would you have in your 10 then?
Well, I'm not going to say too much because I'm going to put this one to Richard. There's something for us to do.
Well, just give us a few tidbits.
I'll give you some artists I'd have to take with me. I'd have to take a Quo album with me, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
A Marillion album, a Genesis album.
Yeah.
A Yes album.
Right.
A Kate Bush album. I have to have a bit of Kate Bush.
Right.
A Glenn Miller album.
Glenn Miller.
Right.
Cool.
Jethro?
Yeah, definitely a Jethro Tull. Some Beatles.
It's a fun thing to do, though, isn't it? It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
And I would
It is.
And you'd be pleased to know I'd take a Jam album with me.
Would you?
Yeah.
All right, nice one.
My female representation, I'd have Enya.
All right.
Love
Yeah.
Enya.
What about you, David? Who would be on your list, do you think?
I'd really have to stop and think. I'd have to write down about it. I like a lot of different.
Just be a little bit impulsive. Just who's top of your head?
Yeah, the house is burning down. Go and grab.
Yeah, grab him quick.
What artist that I take on a desert island, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The house is burning down. You can only save 10 albums. What 10 are you going to save?
This is tough.
It is. It's especially now. I know Ian's record collection.
What about that? What do you think of this album?
Okay, computer. Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't take it with me though, Rob.
You've got to be in the mood, haven't you, for OK Computer? I find. I think I can play it. I play it sometimes and I love it, and then other times I can't wait to take it off. So I don't think I want to take it on a desert island. Even though
no problem, Gary. Take your time.
Go on, David. We're waiting now.
How about I'll pick some jazz? I'll pick some jazz artists. I like jazz music.
Yeah, jazz. Yeah.
How about Ella Fitzgerald?
You're going in the classics now, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to. Ever heard of Stan Kenton and his orchestra?
I'd be tempted to take this.
Oh,
I'm not really into Paul Weller's.
Well,
you should be, Ian.
I'll go and listen to some on your recommendation then.
Do you know what Paul Weller's first ever gig was?
No, go on then.
Status Quo.
Yeah, because his old man and Rick's used to play cards. And the story goes that Rick had to lend Paul his PA system.
Yeah. So Paul Weller's always had a bit of a soft spot for Status Quo.
Yeah, I know when Rick died, Paul gave a lovely tribute to him.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it was a really nice thing.
Yeah.
Stephen Norris would take script for A Jester's Tear. I don't know if I take script.
I'm looking through my CD, see if I've got any bubbly and unders.
Oh, I know one. I know another one I'd definitely take. Jean-Michel Jarre, Oxygen Trilogy.
Oh, I love him too.
I would have to take. I think a lot of us would take Out of the Blue.
Oh, yes. Or, what was the greatest hits one? What was the greatest hits?
I got
Here we come with another of the regulars to the new stream. Simon, welcome, Simon. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. You?
I'm good.
Good.
I got.
I've just tuned in. I'm a bit late to the show.
Pardon?
I've just tuned in about 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
I'm a bit late.
that's all right. You're allowed.
I'm covered in paint. I've been painting my my mum's bedroom, so I'm absolutely covered in the stuff.
Oh well.
All right.
Well,
First
Dave,
question.
I've got a question for you. Yeah, go on.
Well, we got two questions. First question: Born in the USA or Hounds of Love?
Hounds of Love.
There you go. Another vote for Kate. The second question: The house is burning down. You can only take 10 albums. What are you going to take?
I'll probably take my Beatles box set, the BC 13.
What for?
Because it's got every single Beatles album in there, and they're all like analog recordings.
What for?
And how many are in the box?
Oh, 9. I'm going to cheat. Can I take this with me?
Take my iPod.
Oh no, you can't say that. That's
Yeah, where you're on a desert island. Where are you going to plug it in?
Don't know.
Pulsar's come up with
How could you play a record anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's some good ones there. Straws, Hero and Heroine. What a good album.
Selling England by the pound.
I'll probably take all my box sets, as many as I could.
No, you can't do
Not
that.
like this, on your arm, like this. Oh.
What about you, Rob? What would you take?
He's done his.
I've just rounded a few off. Do you know this band?
I can't really see it.
Okay, I'm going
Service
to try.
Broadcasting.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. They're from London. They sort of use quite a lot of samples in the songs.
I think Matt Hayes was recommending those a while back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he bought the whole discography, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah.
This one's about South Wales coal mines when they were closing down in the 80s.
Yeah. It rings familiar.
It's really moving. It's brilliant. I've got it on vinyl, but I've just got a CD handy. I recommend this. All their albums, they've done 4. The first 3, Race for Space. That is a brilliant album.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ian knows Public Service Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Probably.
Do you know them, Ian? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't got any of their stuff, but obviously I've heard of them.
Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out how to make, when you're talking and you're holding up an album, how to put your big on the screen.
Right.
You need to make him solo.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Go on. Dave's got total control of this now, so God knows it. Yeah.
That one.
Hey!
You do that one. There you go. PSB Every Valley.
Yeah, I know the cover, Rob. I know that cover.
Yeah, it's not as immediate as the first 2 albums are pretty immediate, especially Race for Space. That's brilliant. I watched your video the other day, Simon.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what you showed, but you had quite a few books, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been picking up quite a few books recently. Yeah, I like books.
Do you find a lot of time for reading? Because I never really do.
I don't read as much as I like, but I like collecting them, and I like having something there which I can go to if I fancy to read,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I don't actually go out my way to look for them. I just come across them in the charity shops, and if they're like £2 or whatever, I thought
they're always cheap, aren't they?
Yeah, and if I can kind of educate myself a bit more on certain things, it might kind of help my channel out a bit, It's the kind of way I look at it.
I think your channel's beyond help.
Right.
Well, it's not in need of first aid.
Nah.
Mine's at the end of mine needs some help.
Yeah.
I couldn't take that. I can't listen to that all in one go. Tales of the Topographic Oceans.
I know. That's why I'd take it, because you listen to a bit now. Okay, put it away.
Who sings that? Whose album's that?
Yes.
Which album's that?
Tales from Topographic Oceans.
Yes.
What year's that?
I've actually looked that up. 70s.
72, 73, something like that.
Something like that.
Is it before Close to the Edge?
After
Close to the Edge. Right.
1973.
1973, right. There you go.
Hey, how you doing, Final Dale?
Well done, Seb. He came up with it as well. Good man.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Fragile in 71, Close to the Edge 72, Topographic Oceans 73, Relayer 74, and then Going for the One 77.
Yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 Yes albums.
I prefer out of the tropics, and as I call it, and Relayer. I prefer Relayer.
Yeah, I've not heard that one.
Gates of Delirium.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You've got to be really into your prog to get into that one, Rob, I'll tell you.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
work
yeah,
in progress.
Oh, sorry.
Not really into
Have
prog,
you
really.
Have you got any prog, Simon? I can't remember you showing that much prog.
I don't have much. I think I've got one of the Yes albums, but I can't remember what one it was. I think it's a later album.
Right.
Someone told me it's not a very good one. I just found it on CD.
Yeah.
But there's maybe one or two other pieces I have, but I'm not really into prog. Really, it's not really my thing.
I'm not into
there's
it,
a lot of
but
people that are.
I've just kind of started, giving it a bit of time. But
I would imagine the one that Simon has is probably 90125.
Possibly, yeah. It could be. It could well be. I forget what I've got.
Which happens to be the next DVD that Ian's going to do.
Is that the one with Owner of Lonely Heart on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah,
Is that one that Yes fans don't like?
That's the one.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on the cover, Simon? I'll see if I can guess it by the cover.
I couldn't tell you. I don't have it to hand. All my CDs are all in my loft because I rip everything to my computer. I'll have to turn my PC on to get like the album art and stuff. So,
would you have the debut Oasis album on Desert Island, Simon? You like that album, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely, yeah. The first one, I think the first one just edges it for me over the second album.
Yeah, I agree.
But a lot of people always say, "What's the Story? Morning Glory is the better one," but
yeah, definitely, maybe I think.
Yeah, I think so.
What's your favourite Blur album? Is it Part Life?
Yeah, I would have to go with Part Life. Yeah.
My favourite one, I can never remember the name of it, but I do like the cover as well.
The Great Escape.
Yeah, is that the one with the A4 Pacific on the front?
What with the what on the front?
The A4 Pacific steam locomotive.
Modern Life is Rubbish.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
That's the second album, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah. I like their earlier stuff, actually. I like their first album, the hits off that. I wouldn't mind a copy of that on vinyl, actually, if I can get a first.
Is it Leisure, that one?
Leisure, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I like all Blur's albums, mate. I think they go a little bit under the radar. They're not easy to find on vinyl cheap, though, are they?
No, I wish they would re-release that best of they did on CD. If they could get that on vinyl, you can get it on vinyl, but it costs about 200, 300 quid now.
That with the 3 pictures, four pictures.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
I've got that on CD about 6 times.
Yeah, you can get it easy on CD, but vinyl it costs an arm and a leg now.
Yeah, it'd be a good one, that, wouldn't it?
That would be really good if they could repress that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll fly off the shelves, I reckon.
It'll probably get reissued at some point.
Hey, go on, Dave.
I actually don't. I've heard of Blur, but I don't know their music too well. Would you believe?
Right.
Right. I don't know.
I don't think Blur were that successful in America, though, were they?
I don't think so. No.
No, I think Oasis tried over America, but didn't come to anything.
Oasis was successful over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were they? I thought I thought they failed in America. Really?
No.
No.
It's hard though when you sort of in the vinyl community, you sort of chatting to people from other channels. You get the wrong impression sometimes. That all Americans are really into British music. All right, the people in the VC might be, but I'm not sure how much British music the standard American listens to. I don't know.
Thing is, you say Oasis they made it in America, but did they actually have any hits in America, or is this
well, they had. You remember that song Wonderwall?
Yeah, Wonderwall. Yeah,
that hit the top 10. Then they had Billboard magazine has a modern rock track charts. Champagne Supernova
Fantasy
Well,
Supernova, yeah.
looking back in aggregate, the modern rock charts here, too.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if Chris has said Oasis were the biggest Britpop in the US, Blur was second, with Girls and Boys and number 2. So there you go.
Song 2, yeah. It's like the Manic Street Preachers. I don't think I'm not sure how successful they were in America, but in the UK, in the mid-90s, the Manics were pretty big, weren't they?
They were absolutely fantastic, especially when they got to number 1 in the singles charts. That was a great achievement.
Yeah. Yeah, if you tolerate this, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a copy of that on vinyl, actually. I'll show you.
Hey,
What, that album?
Yeah.
What's up, Dave?
well, I just want to say, I like it. I don't have. I got a bunch of. I love the British techno. Human League, Duran Duran, Eurythmics, Culture Club, Heaven 17, Flock of Seagulls, Soft Cell. I got records by all those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Techno groups.
Yeah, that's not an easy album to get hold of.
You can get a repressing of it. It's quite easy to get. Just go on Amazon, I think, and order it. But
I've had a look on Amazon a few times. I've not been able to see it.
Oh, right. But yeah, this still in its shrink wrap. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
A friend of mine had that when it come out, right? And he didn't like it. I wish I'd have whipped it off him.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Yes, it's a brilliant album. Even the deep cuts are good on that.
Yeah, they are. It's such a good album, that.
Yeah.
But Everything Must Go's a good album as well, isn't it?
I can't remember. Well, I only ranked them not so long ago. I mean, I know that wasn't my top. My favourite is This Is My Truth. Tell Me Yours. That's my favourite Manic Street Preachers album. That's a really good album.
That was before this one, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their debut was a very good album. Obviously, it's got Richie on it, hasn't it? The earlier ones.
Yeah.
Wonder what really happened to him.
I know.
Do you
I
think
think that's a band we should add to the list.
Manic Street Preachers we've done?
No, A Flock of Seagulls.
Oh, Flock of Seagulls. Well, Diego breaking the gag room. Can't stop that. Oh, yeah, Flock of Seagulls. That'd be a good one to do.
Yeah.
I think Flock of Seagulls, they only did about 3 albums, didn't they?
7.
7?
Yeah. The last one was in 2021.
Cool.
Right. I don't remember that one.
I picked up this yesterday, this Blondie Eats to the Beat.
Classic.
It was in a charity shop, and it's funny enough, I only just saw a YouTube video where I can't remember who it was now who did it, but they brought up this album. And they said to get it because it's cheap, and some of the other albums are quite expensive now.
Yeah,
but no one's really going for this one, and he said it's a really good album to pick up. And he said you can pick it up for about £5, and it was actually £5. So I thought, yeah, why not go for that?
I'll tell you how many Gary Newman's put out.
About 20.
19. You weren't far wrong, Rob. And I will be doing an album ranking of Gary Newman very, very, very soon.
Just do his greatest hits.
Yeah.
I'm doing David Bowie next soon as well.
Oh, that's difficult.
Cool.
2 parts. Doing it in 2 parts.
Yeah. Have you done XTC?
Yes.
Right.
I love XTC.
I have one. I have one album by XTC anyway.
Which one?
The one with that English settlement with the lion drawing in the front.
Yeah, with the horse on the front.
The horse. I have the US version.
Yeah. It's a single album in America, that, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, some people, someone on the internet a few months back told me the British version of English Settlement is better or something.
Yeah, it's a double album.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm missing.
I went to see XTC in 1980.
Cool.
In Manchester in December. You were asking about worst gigs before.
Yeah.
I think one of the worst ones I went to was Julian Cope. So
I'm surprised at that.
yeah, I were a bit pissed, and I was just waiting for him to do Reward and World Shut Your Mouth, and he didn't do them till the encore. So
You're one of them people that goes to gigs, sits down all the time. Once they've heard your hits, you clear off.
yeah, exactly. I had to wait until encore.
Tough.
You know what Julian Cope's like? He was being a bit, he's a bit self-obsessed in here, and he was being a bit annoying. So,
got some ranking requests, Dave. One's on the list I know of.
One.
You've not ranked
Airplanes on Jefferson Airplanes on the list.
Have you done the Gorillas, Ian?
Not yet, no.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen Norris always tells us this. XTCs, have I ever told you? If I had £1 every time we said that, Stephen, I'll be a rich man. But yeah.
What about this, Ian? For controversial, XTC only did 3 good albums.
You're probably right.
I think they've done 3 brilliant albums for me: Drums and Wires, English Settlement, Black Sea. All the rest, they've got some good tracks on, but I don't think they touch those 3.
No. What do you think of when they went did that offshoot, the psychedelic, whatever they were called?
Yeah, it wasn't really for me.
Stratosphere or something?
Dukes of Stratosphere.
Well,
Yeah.
I've heard of them, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of that sort of music. I sent you the Zombies, didn't I, Simon?
You did, yeah. It's a nice record, that is, actually.
Yeah, that's the same kind of feel to that album as on the Dukes of Stratosphere, I think.
All right, it's a bit kind of psychedelic, you mean?
Yeah. But I know there's a lot of people love like Skylarking and Big Express and Oranges and Lemons. And I'm not saying they're bad albums, but I don't think they come close to those 3.
I've got Oranges and Lemons on CD.
What
I
do you
can't
think?
remember how I ranked them. I ranked them ages ago. I still listen to their albums, but I can't remember how I ranked
I
them.
think
then.
I listened to it once and just completely forgot about it.
Yeah, that sounds about right, that.
In my little book of... I can't even find it.
Some people in the vinyl community, though, the tablets will explode if you say that XTC are a bit overrated.
Really?
Do they get a little bit precious about them then?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Rachel and Mazzy and all those wannabe nobodies.
Well, they're a good band, but as you said, you were right, Rob. They only made 3 classic albums. I mean,
Yeah.
I think every band, just because you love a band, doesn't mean you're going to like every album, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I think my 4th favourite album by XTC is XTC's Greatest Hits.
Some of these bands you mentioned, to me, they're just not commercial enough for my liking, Just
Who's that?
XTC, it just doesn't seem to ring with me, some of the music,
Yeah, they're very eccentric English, aren't they?
Quite quirky,
Yeah.
aren't they? I mean, I watched
some of these
James
bands are a bit
Griffiths was talking about XTC. He did a video with Ross Goodall, and he was talking about the song Senses Working Overtime. And I never thought about it, but the start of that song is really weird. And then it goes into this great chorus. And he was saying if George Martin had got hold of that song, he'd have just made it burst into the chorus at the start of the song and make it really memorable.
See, my favourite song is Sergeant Rock.
Yeah.
Again, because it's got a weird key run, hasn't it? It's
Yeah. I think my favorite. Well, I know my favourite's Making Plans for Nigel, but I like a lot of the tracks off Drums and Wires. I like Jason and the Argonauts off English Settlement as well.
Yeah.
I think with XTC, you're either like them or you don't. You can't. There's no.
Well, I've said this before with XTC in 1980. No one was that interested in XTC when I went to see them. They weren't queuing around the block to go and get a ticket.
They're a bit required taste.
You just walked in. There was no big deal with XTC. When I started making videos on YouTube, all these Americans waxing lyrically about XTC, it was quite a shock for me because, none of my friends were interested in XTC in 1980.
It's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of these Americans seem to like bands we don't seem to appreciate over here. Iron Maiden and they seem to be, and Rush. They seem to be massively popular in the US, but we don't really consider it very, very much. A lot of us, not everybody, but Yeah,
there's a fine example of that. A band called Fogat. Dave must see. They were huge in America.
Yeah, Foghat is a good band, I think.
Yeah, but Status Quo were never big in America, and it's the same thing. But Foghat over here, we don't like. They didn't have hits over here. It's a shame because they're a damn good band.
Except for we had one hit, Pictures of Matchstick Men in the United States.
Yeah.
They're quite psychedelic then, weren't they, in the 60s?
Yeah. That first album's pretty groovy, actually.
They're very samey for me, Status Quo. I know you're a big fan of them, Liam, but that air guitar, that kind of sound they have, it's just in every song, isn't it? In their sort of later stuff.
Yeah, well, Mutt Lang, that's Mutt Lang's fault. You know how much I love Mutt Lang. He's not my favourite producer.
Right.
Well, if you want a band to be ruined, just let Mutt Lang. Well, he doesn't do it now, but give them to Mutt Lang and he'll ruin them forever.
Who else has he produced, Ian?
Mutt Lang, he's done The Cause and ruined them.
He worked with Bryan Adams, didn't he?
Yeah, and ruined that. AC/DC. Okay, he did produce Back in Black, but the follow-up, what he tried to do with Phil Rudd's drums is make them nice and smooth. Put blankets on them. That's not Phil Rudd. We love Phil Rudd for... So
I was playing a bit of AC/DC to my mum when I was decorating. And, so she's not really I didn't think she'd really like, but I played like the song The Jack. It's probably like one of the worst songs you could probably play to your mum of their library. And she said, I really like this, actually. She said, this is good. I thought, well, there you go. Yeah.
What song was you playing, Simon?
The Jack.
Oh, that's a classic.
I know. Yeah.
Did you tell her what it's all about?
I did in the end, and she had a bit of a, oh, really? Like a bit of expression in her face, but yeah, she got it, and she actually liked it. Actually, it surprised me.
Simon, who's going to be the new Spurs manager?
Nagelsmann, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a shot at getting him. I might be wrong. Who knows? Could be anybody. Could be Pochettino. Could anyone.
Yeah.
Well, he sort of shot himself in the foot, didn't he? Really?
I don't think he really wanted to be there, did he?
No.
Yeah.
That's all gone to plan for Conte, that, hasn't
it? It was a bad appointment, really. I was quite optimistic when he came over, but we should have really moved on this season. He shouldn't have gone backwards.
Yeah, he's just done what Conte does, hasn't he? He's 2 years and he's off.
He's a bit of a relic now, isn't he? I think, of the Premier League. He might work abroad, but that kind of football it's not good enough, over here now. Not the likes of Klopp's Liverpool, how they attack, and now Arsenal with how they press.
Yeah.
It's so boring to watch as well. It's like,
Yeah.
anything but this.
I think
Yeah.
my favourite game this week was Scotland and Spain. I thought Scotland played tremendous. I know the Spanish didn't put out a full team.
That were a coupon buster, that.
That second goal was absolutely brilliant.
I'm pleased Kane broke the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of those were penalties?
I know. He must have
13,
scored about
14
15.
about, I think.
Yeah.
He must have scored 15.
I'm gonna leave you guys. Now,
Okay, thanks for coming along, Dave.
nice to meet
Thanks
you.
very much.
Nice to
Yeah,
meet
see you
you,
soon.
Ian, Rob. Is your name Simon?
Yeah, Simon, yeah.
And Master Dave.
All right, thank you kindly.
Guys later.
See you later.
Y'all take care. That was nice. We're creeping ever westward.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought England played very well against Ukraine because the Ukraine, like most Eastern European teams, come to Wembley and park the bus and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be beating the likes of Ukraine though, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, well, I mean, we did. I mean, we broke them down. I mean, Saka's goal was top draw.
Yeah.
Good week, good results. Really?
It's pretty predictable, though, isn't it? You know, these qualifiers gets a little bit tedious, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the women's game as well. I mean, that qualifying, we scored 80 goals and conceded none.
It's pretty tedious. It's a bit like watching Rachel's stream, isn't it?
Oh dear, it does get a little bit at times. That's why I make my exit. I mean, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but now and again you go. This one's dying a death now.
What has?
We're fluctuating. We're down to 9 people watching us.
No,
But it's amazing how many people watch this during the week.
How many views do you get on it during the week, Ian?
Well, for me, it was 130 odd last week, which is pretty good for me.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the VC for a bit. That'll get a few people watching. So, who have you been watching lately, Simon? And who do you dislike?
Who have I been watching? Good question. I don't think I've been watching anyone actually. I can't think there's anyone I've been tuning into recently. I've just been.
So do you not go on your on your phone, or do you watch videos on your phone, or?
Yeah. Sometimes I watch them on my TV because I got YouTube on my.
Why don't you watch Chris Record Talk? You know, if you're really bored, you can watch him.
There's a lot I could watch. I just haven't. I can't keep up with it all. You know, with children and stuff going on. It's You can. I can only watch very few, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch. I like watching Craig, the record player. Craig, Rob.
Yeah, Craig. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I think Mazzy upset him the other day.
Why? What did he say?
Said something about where he was living and he wouldn't go down there, and Craig took a bit of an offence.
No, I think Craig loves Mazzy, doesn't he?
Yeah, and even Reid was saying I think he was a bit below the belt there.
Do you what? Where's Simon gone?
Sorry, back in a sec.
Yeah, I was going to ask Dave. Do you watch any videos on YouTube? Do you watch any channels?
He's off at the moment. He might be he's muted, so he might be doing something.
What about you, Ian? Who do you watch in the UK?
I watch you, of course. When you put stuff up, and I do.
Yeah.
Obviously, I watch Simon and I watch Richard.
How did you find Richard McCook, Ian, or did he find you?
He found me.
Right.
and he just put a big shout out.
Yeah.
He was trolling around looking for something to do.
Yeah.
But he all of a sudden, I've mentioned you in one of my shows, and I watched it, and he did, he said some good things, so I messaged him, and then we started doing stuff, and we become bits of legends, really, in a very short time.
Yeah, Richard started his channel like the same week as me, I think. So I think when you start your channel, whenever you start your channel at the same time, you always have a bit of a bond with them people. Who started when you started, Simon? Remember?
I don't think I was on too far after you came on, actually. Maybe a few months down the line.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody. I know Rob Eisen came on.
Rob Eisen, yeah.
Eisen came on, I know, within a few months of me, I think.
Yeah.
But,
what's Record Talk saying? I can't read that on my phone. What's he saying?
He's saying, I like the Sea of Tranquility, even though Pete Pardo slags off a lot of my favourite music.
Oh,
That's
right.
not BC, though.
No. Are you going to do any more videos at Car Boots, Simon, this year? Have you got any plans?
I hope so. Yeah, I do go over to the markets a bit. Not every week, but maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So thing is, when you're out there in the markets, I don't really want to be going around with a camera.
I know.
Because people are going to kick off over it. People aren't going to want to be. First they're going to ask me why am I holding the camera for one.
Yeah.
It's a bit. I have to sort of be quite discreet and sort of hide it in a pocket or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's yeah. But I will try to do something anyway. I will.
You want to get one of those body cams that the police wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that though, if you've got something like that, it can be a little bit. People can be a little bit funny these days, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to ask permission, because if you're going to broadcast it, you've then got personal rights can be infringed.
I know, so it makes you wonder whether it's worth all the hassle.
I know.
Well, whenever I was living back at our old house, our neighbours had to put up a security camera, and they had to ask everybody in the street for permission to record, for security purposes, because they were getting stones put through their windows almost every week.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know any plans for record fairs.
Plans for Easter?
Yeah.
Only with the family, just probably go around to my mum's and have a meal, same old thing every year.
Yeah, I was saying about some of the record fairs around here. Last one I was at, someone says, I'm doing something for my YouTube channel. Can I just film? And the bloke went, yeah, bit of free publicity.
Yeah.
A lot of the traders, they like the publicity. So I think it depends who it is. If you get an older bloke, our sort of age, they love the publicity. But you get some young bloke, he's, oh no, private.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can remember asking for permission on this at this record shop, which was local to me, and they just recently opened within the last 6 months or so. And I said, look, I'm a YouTuber. Do you mind if I go around the shop and record some footage? And he's like, yeah, I don't mind. Cool, that's fine. I said, I sort of explain what I was doing. That, I won't actually. I'm not going to say anything which is negative regarding your shop. I'm just going to flick for your records, and whoever watches it, and talk about it a little bit,
Yeah. You thought people would like that if it's giving them some publicity.
Exactly. If it's free publicity, a lot of them will say, yeah, go on ahead.
Yeah.
It's so long as you don't record other people's faces.
Yeah.
If you're just flicking through the albums, by all means, especially if you give them a shout out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like us. We're always giving each other shout outs on our channels, aren't we? So, and giving a mention to each other, you know, and that's what the community is all about, really.
Yeah.
Some charity shops don't like you doing it if you ask for permission. You know, some won't mind, and then there's some that will.
Yeah.
You know, I think most people don't even bother asking; they just record anyway. I mean, I have, and whatever.
Moxham might object with all their pronouns and ask them for. Have you got Sylvia's mother? Because they don't want. Have you got Sylvia's mother? Because apparently that's one word they want to ban, isn't it, mother? So, yeah, ask them all the questions with the words they want to be banned if they've got out.
Right, I'm going to go now, Ian. See you.
Okay, ta-da, Rob. See you
Okay,
soon.
ta-da, Rob. Good to see you.
See you,
Thank
Simon.
you.
See you,
Hey, Rob.
David. Have a good Easter, everyone, if I don't see you next week.
Okay, then. Take care,
And
mate.
you. Take care.
See you later.
Bye.
So there we go, Mr. Rob Walker. Go and check his channel out. He's got some really good stuff. And if you want to have a chuckle as well, that's always worth it because he's got a very dry sense of humour, as our Rob. Some people can't understand him, but I think I do. Richard does, and I know Simon does.
You know, that's something that YouTube could actually do with implementing. Ian's heard me talk about a system called Twitch, something similar to YouTube, where you can stream live. People stream games and whatnot. But there's a simple command that you can type in and give someone a shout out. I think YouTube could do with having that sort of feature. You get 2 or 3 people coming in and, let's give a shout out to Richard. Let's give a shout out to Simon. Let's give a shout out to Rob. And it's a simple command. I think that would be an advantage to YouTube if that was implemented.
It seems you have to put a hell of a lot into YouTube to get anything back from it, really, you know?
Yeah. I was surprised, Ian. We were talking one night about 6 months after you started. We were talking about people who do streams. Excuse me a sec. And there was a guy I used to watch quite a lot. He's a gamer he's based now in Canada. And he has something like 18 million followers.
Wow.
And he lives off what he puts out on YouTube and Twitch. And he's got other projects going along with his wife. And they just bought a house outright in Canada, huge plot of land. They've just bought, what do they call it? An RV, huge thing. They're getting ready to set off on a road trip. And he's going to be streaming while they're off on the road trip. The man is making sensible use of the facility that he's got. And he's making money out of it, big time.
Yeah, people live this. Well, some people it's their full-time job.
Oh yeah,
you know.
For a lot of people, if they're on Twitch, it's even bigger.
Wow.
I think they get better rewards out of Twitch because they reach so many people.
Yeah.
I now watch 2 or 3 people on Twitch because I play World of Tanks.
Oh,
and I watch them to get. All right. Yeah. You in a clan?
I've only played it. I played it years ago. I played it for a little bit, but I didn't get too into it. You know, but I liked it. It was a good game.
It is. It's good fun, but they're going stupid now. They're bringing in tanks with rockets.
Oh right, yeah.
Rocket boost. It's daft.
Yeah.
Over my head.
No, but we sat and we talked about Twitch, and I've created, because I'm on Twitch myself and on Discord, we've created a Discord channel with various rules and whatnot that hopefully at some stage in the future we'll be able to integrate Discord, where you can have something like YouTube, something like StreamYard, bring that in, and anybody with a microphone can join in the chat or just type in chat.
Who is this gaming channel you watch?
There's a guy called, let's see, just pull this down. There's Quickie Baby. He's based out of the UK. There's Miss Jackie. She's in Germany. Swedish Lady C. There's a guy in Canada called A2Cade. He does Star Trek Online, World of Tanks, World of Warships, Destiny 2. He does a whole bunch of stuff. Nice bunch of people.
Yeah, there's a few I watch actually in the gaming community.
In fact, there's one guy I watch, and I now do moderator for him on a Sunday night, Tuesday night, Friday night, but he's also started doing Thursday nights. So I can be up until 2-3 o'clock in the morning doing moderating on his channel. But he's down in Florida, and he plays the old sort of retro games.
Yeah, that's what I'm into. Yeah.
Oh, you should see if I can call this up, and I'll send you the link.
There's a lot of retro games YouTubers out there.
I've just put the link up again if you want to come and join Simon and Dave and myself for a chat. We've got about another half hour. We limit these to 2-hour slots because of I'm not paying $200 a year. Limited.
There you go, Simon. It's in chat.
All right.
I'll put it up for you.
Right.
There we go.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. He usually starts around about 11 o'clock at night, our time, and goes to about 2 or 3 in the morning. What's he been playing? He's been playing Titan Submarines, Assassin's Creed. He varies. He does sort of 3 or 4 streams a week, 3 or 4 different games, and it changes. And it's good fun. It is just good fun. And like most Americans, Sam is a big boy. But he is fun. He gets some of the humor. I actually posted him a link to Ken Dodd and the Diddy Men. We Are the Diddy Men. And he thought it was absolutely hilarious. He was corpsing with laughter over it.
And absolutely right. Bit of Ken
Yes.
Dodd, if anybody.
Yeah, but he'd never heard it or seen it. He's only he's about I think he's just turned 40 thereabouts. So he wouldn't have come across Ken Dodd. So it was a delight to sort of increase his knowledge. But he does know and understand Monty Python humor.
It's even better.
Exactly. A rare gem.
Yes, for those Americans still watching, the Diddy Men, Ken Dodd, who was a comedian, and he had these little Diddy men who worked at the Jam Butty mines and the broken biscuit factories and the snuff mines. And they're actually from Knotty Ash, which is a Simon will confirm, it is actually an area of Liverpool, isn't it, Knotty Ash?
Yeah.
Proper place.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where Ken lived all his life, in Knotty Ash.
Didn't George Harrison remortgage his property to fund that the first one?
Yes, I think he did.
Yes,
I think he did, didn't he?
and he appeared. He had a cameo role in The Life of Brian as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's quite a thing to do, that, isn't it? To remortgage your property to fund a movie. I mean,
yeah. Wow. But George Harrison was a huge Monty Python fan, so he knew he'd get his money back.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Oh, the BBC are going to try and save money. They're going to broadcast 1,000 fewer hours of new TV programs this year. So half of it will come from sport.
There's a lot who don't even pay for their TV license now, aren't there? There's a lot of people that refuse to pay it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying they should go commercial, and I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm torn on that. I think it should still be free to air. But at the same time, I can understand why people don't want to pay for something. Put it like, to be blunt, some of the crap content that's being put out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound right where just by owning a TV you have to pay it whether you watch it or not. I mean, that doesn't really sound fair, does it? Really? I mean,
no.
You know.
No. I mean, in that case, all right, you don't have a TV, you have a computer, and you sit and you watch BBC programs, ITV, whoever, on your computer. You stream them in.
Yeah.
BBC, if you use the iPlayer, it comes up and asks, have you got a TV license? You tell it yes. It doesn't know whether or not you've actually got a TV license. You just answer the question, yes, I've got a TV license.
Yeah.
And away you go. You're watching whatever you want. It's basically, it's for free, but it's costing us, the taxpayer, because we're funding the BBC. So I can see the argument for some commercialization, but I don't want to see adverts on the BBC. It's bad enough on ITV.
Well, especially sport.
Oh, don't tell them about the rugby one.
ITV, you get the teams coming out, doesn't matter, football, rugby, do the national anthems, and then they go to a break before the kickoff.
Yeah, while the bands march off and everybody gets off the pitch, we're having a commercial break, and they come back, and the referee's standing in the centre circle with whoever, and they go, blow the whistle, and away we go.
I mean, do the BBC do they broadcast the FA Cup anymore? I don't think they do they?
Yeah, I think they do. I
think they still have to. Still have to. But they used to do live coverage of the Masters. Doesn't happen.
All right.
Golf coverage has gone out the window. F1 out the window. It's more football, and even more so now, it's recorded highlights, and it's only sort of rare matches. You don't get as much football on the BBC as you get on Sky.
No.
But the plus side of it, I mean, they do promote women's sport, like the Women's Six Nations. All the games are on the BBC. Although some of them are on the iPlayer, but they're still promoting it. But the thing in the Six Nations for the men, they don't get the England home games no more because they won't pay. ITV are cleaning up when it comes to.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised Sky haven't gone in and bagged the lot.
But I think the Six Nations is one of them sports that must have to stay on the B. Well,
on free to air on terrestrial.
I agree.
But then they said that about the Open. The BBC doesn't carry the Open anymore. It used to be religiously, BBC had the Open. Great. You had brilliant commentators and you had brilliant interviews. They gave that up. It went to Sky. Sky outbid them by millions. BBC, we can't match that.
No.
I love this comment from Matt. We have one channel on Samsung TV that shows antique roadshows. My God, how many antique roadshows can you put up with?
Oh, you'd be amazed how many there are.
It's just cheap shows all the time, isn't it? You know, like cookery and these antique shows and. You know,
yeah, and let's restore this ancient clock or this piece of. Some of them, yes. Okay.
I like the repair shop.
No, I'm not complaining. What I'm saying, it can be an education. There's educational value to that. People can learn to repair stuff themselves. It's where you get these reality things that I hate.
Yeah, I don't know those.
Yeah, some of the comedy these days is just absolutely. Well, it's not funny. I mean, that thing Ghosts about. I sat and watched that, and I couldn't find anything funny about it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm old-fashioned. You want comedy? You want good laughter? Morecambe and Wise any day of the week.
Yeah, Matt, we love Fiona Bruce,
though, isn't it? With this whole, you can't say anything without offending someone, and this whole wokeness and.
Yeah, I mean, even on Radio 4 Extra, there's a lot of old shows get repeated, and you get a warning now. This program contains language which, at the time, was the norm, but now it may cause offence. And you listen to it, and you hear one word.
It's like what you say about that the other day. I couldn't find anything to watch on telly the other afternoon, and I thought, went on Disney, and I thought, let's watch Davy Crockett. I loved it as a kid. Put it on, and then there's a trigger warning on it now.
Yes,
Davy Crockett. About these were times where this was acceptable.
Yeah.
And it's about his cowboys and blooming Indians and that. What's so offensive about that? Anyway, we can't.
Yeah. Can't go. Oh, God, yes. Oh, God. That sounds like Dave, the channel.
There's a whole lot of stuff. It's just would never be redone ever again. You know, it's in the past. It's going to stay in the past.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember sitting down with mum and dad on a Saturday evening, and the big show that came on was the black and white minstrel show. Okay, I can understand people blacking up. Fair enough. Not the done thing. You don't repeat it. Hang on a second. Why do you not repeat it? It's part of history. It's what we did. Admit, yes, we got it wrong. It was normal at the time. We understand now that we got it wrong. But it's still bloody entertainment.
It's like one of my favourite episodes of Jeeves and Wooster. When they black up on this concert they were doing on the ukuleles. It's so funny, and I mean, you couldn't show that anymore.
No,
it's got what's his face in it. Plays Doc Martin.
Martin
Plumes.
Yeah.
He play bingo?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. And they're all blacked up.
I mean, another one they can't show. It Ain't Half Hogman. They won't show that now because of your man sitting there playing the Dobie Waller.
Yeah.
And the Chai Boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's coming up to its 1 minute, 1 hour 48. Where does the time go on a Thursday night?
Well, this is it. You have people in, you talk about various things. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes. Well, we'll just think of what's tomorrow. Oh, we've got Brian Adams live. Granny's Injun. No, not Granny. Granny's Intention, which is Gary Moore's first band. And we're going to look at Genesis, the BBC broadcasters tomorrow. So that's coming up tomorrow. And then we've got all the stuff for next week. I'm starting to feel tired. I'm getting a jaw ache for some reason.
Right. Community poll is... the chat poll is 11-3 still. Yeah. The community is still 10-0. So it's 21-3 to Kate.
God, this must be the biggest response. Walkover. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night because I am quite tired tonight. I don't know why, but I do feel tired. Anyway, thanks again, Simon, for coming in. You're always welcome on the channel. Thanks to Dave for his help. Thanks for, of course, Rob for coming in, and poor old Gary. I hope he sorts out his thing. Thank you, Matt. Really, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks again for Rob and Dave, all the way from Wyoming. Usual people.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. And we'll see you all next week. So have a good
Take
week.
care, everyone.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Bye for now.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Bye.